giving many Americans a Thank you all for joining us. This is Keep It Pro Training Call. My name is Monique. I'm your host for today's call. This call is brought to you by Networking Wisdom. For 3 years now, every Sunday, the same time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, this call is where you will learn the skills to become more successful in network marketing and in your life. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. You'll be intrigued during this call, full of wisdom. I have the honor and pleasure to introduce to you a remarkable individual. This gentleman, at the tender age of 25 years young, achieved his first millionaire status. He knows how to make money and achieve results in a very short time. For example, in his previous company, in his first month alone, he did $10 million in sales. That's right, $10 million in sales. That was $159,000 in commissions. And he helped over 250 people make between $1,000 to $100,000 in their very first month. Wow, that's great. He's a joy to be around. He's a leader of leaders. He's also a coach of coaches, and he loves and enjoys having fun. Without further ado, I have a gentleman that transforms lives, transforms organizations, the man of the hour, marketplace minister, California kid, Mr. Romacio A. Fulcher. Are you there?
Absolutely. I'm here. Thank you so much, Monique. You have been very, very consistent in stepping up and helping us being the host of today's call. I appreciate you. We love you. And, again, thank you for your support to this platform. Listen, guys, I want to welcome all of you back again for another edition of the Network Marketing Keep It Pro Training Call. This is where you, your team, and everybody you know needs to be every single Sunday. It's free. Did you hear me? I said it's free. We are teaching you the specific skills that you need to get to the top of your business. We're also teaching you life skills as well. We don't have an agenda. We don't talk about, when I say an agenda, we don't talk about company products. We don't talk about company names. None of that stuff. We're simply giving you the skills, teaching you the skills that you need to get yourself to the very top of your business. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't know names of people that join this call. We don't look at any logs of phone numbers or anything of the sort. If you're wondering why would we be doing such a precious call, and we've been doing this for 3 years, it's really simple. Our mission is we believe what we make happen for others, the universe will gladly make happen for us. Always remember, gifts are meant to share, ladies and gentlemen. They're not meant to keep. And I believe each and every single one of you that's listening in on this call, there is a gift that you possess. There's something that's inside of you that's just better in you. It's a gift that you have, and it's meant for you to share. And on this platform for the last 3 years, that's what we've been doing. 6-figure earners, 7-figure earners, both men and women, all different ethnicities have come to this platform to share the specific skills that you need to get you to the top, as well as life skills. As always, every single call that we do, it's always recorded, immediately uploaded for you to re-listen to at any time you want. Now, what I want to do is we are continuing a series that we've been doing now for the last 5 weeks. This is the first time in 3 years we've ever done a series, meaning where we've talked about the same topic continuously week after week after week. And the reason why is because this specific topic that we're talking about by far is the most important topic we've ever done in 3 years. It's called Contagious Confidence. Some people really love the sound of those 2 words put together, contagious confidence. But let me tell you, boy, is this a heavy topic. This is something that reaches far into your personal life, far into your health life, far into your spirituality, far into your philanthropy. This topic goes with you everywhere you go. This is the top of all topics, if I were you, I would want a thorough, deep, comprehensive understanding of this topic, contagious confidence. How do I get some of that? I thought I might have known what that was about. You know, I work out, I look pretty good, I sound pretty good. You know, I'm doing okay. I've got A's and B's on my test. So I think my swag or my drip is looking pretty good. No. I want to encourage you, if you're just joining in today, I want to encourage you to get on the website and go listen to the other 4 weeks that we've done prior to this. This is a thorough, comprehensive, factual-based training series talking about how do you develop contagious confidence. This is not we're not just going to, just give you, we're not just going to hit it and quit it. Like, we're just going to talk about it a little bit and, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? No, guys. We've taken the time week after week, hour by hour to dive into this because I know how important this is. I know how important this is. And today, guys, we're getting ready to hit the ball out of the park once again. So what I want to do, I want to give you an extra 2 minutes, 120 seconds. I want you just to grab your little cell phone, and I want you to go ahead and text message maybe 1 or 2 people real quick, just real quick. I'm going to give you just 2 minutes. Text 1 or 2 people and say, you need to be on this call. It's free. Get on this call. Jump on this call. It's free. It's absolutely free. Obviously, if they miss the call, they can re-listen to the replay. But I can tell you, man, it's a different thing when you go to the ball game and it's live versus its own replay, right? It's still good when you watch the replay, but it's not as good, when you hear it live. So I want you to go ahead, take your little fingers out, use your cell phones, and go ahead and just ping 2 people right now. Just, hey, girl, hey, man, you got to jump on this call. Just jump on this call. This is fire today. We got to get this message out to everybody. I'm not looking for any more fanfare. Trust me, I'm good. Okay, this is all about something that literally is deep on the inside of me that is a gift that I'm trying to share with you. I'm not looking for any notoriety. I don't need any thank yous. I'm just trying to do what I'm supposed to do. And I can just tell you, I just know that there's someone listening or someones that will listen to this specific message, and I'm talking about it's going to really start a fire in someone. I really believe that from what it is that we're going to be discussing here today. We're going to be talking about contagious confidence, but we're going to key in on a specific word today called rhythm. And I'm going to really lay it down today. So I want to make sure you go ahead and maybe just send those couple of text messages out right now, just to a few people that you may know. Have them jump on. If they're here, great. If they're not here, that's okay as well. But I'm telling you guys, this topic is something, if I were you, take the time, put this on replay, listen to it, when you're driving, when you're washing your dishes, or, whatever, just listen to this information and pay attention. I'm telling you, faith comes by hearing and hearing through the word. I'm just telling you, this right here, this is some really good stuff. As they say, I must have to say so myself. This is some good stuff. So I can just tell you guys, and this week I couldn't wait to get here today because I just knew how important this topic was about rhythm. And it's a little bit more deeper than some of you may think when you hear the word rhythm. And you may be wondering, how in the world does rhythm coincide of the words contagious confidence? What part does rhythm have to do with confidence? Well, Romacio, where are you going with this? Well, that's why I want you to go ahead and pay extra close attention here today, because we're really going to talk about where rhythm comes into play when it comes to dealing with confidence. Again, I can't say it enough times. If this is your first time listening in, we gladly welcome you, but I have to encourage you, go back and listen to the sequence. Call number 4, call number 3, number 2, and number 1. So then you'll see where the progression has led us to today, and you'll really understand the impact of how all 5 of these calls going together will radically transform your life if you apply them. Now, if you're listening to me for the first time, I want you to know, listen, I am not a motivational speaker. I'm not a pastor, anything of the like. Certainly I am a passionate individual. That's this. So I don't apologize for being passionate as we share this message. The passion that I have, it comes deep in my belly because I know the value of this. You know, and there's an old saying, when you know what something is worth, you ought to act like you know what it's worth. And so there comes the passion. Some people may mistake the passion. There's no hype. It's just literally, I'm excited. I'm fired up. I understand the value, the meaning of if you can just get a piece of what I'm saying and instantly implement this into your life, I know what the outcome will look like for you. In fact, we're doing this call today in the face of one of the biggest, viruses or biggest issues that are going on in our world today, the coronavirus. Everywhere we turn and everywhere we look, what we're faced with is a negative situation that is radically trying to disturb the confidence of all humankind. And this is a fact. So, again, the irony of here it is today, we're talking about contagious confidence in a very, very insecure, uncertain time in history right now with the coronavirus. So, again, go figure the irony of just the timing of this call. This is why I'm telling you, you got to go ahead and get a couple of people to hear this message real quick. All right, so let's go ahead and begin to dive into, as we talk about contagious confidence, focusing in on the word rhythm. Ladies and gentlemen, I have always said, and I still say today, that where there is success, there is rhythm. Where there is rhythm, there is success. Okay? I want you to understand that rhythm is everything. What I'm going to do today to really, because I told you this would be comprehensive. I'm not just going to give you some philosophy and a few little sayings. I'm going to take you on a journey today about where did rhythm originate from, and why is rhythm so important, and what can you do if you've lost your rhythm? How do you gain more rhythm? So I'm going to really deliberately take you on a journey so that you can understand the origin of rhythm. Now, I know all of my black folks that's listening on the line, you might think that you were the creator of rhythm. You know, the old joke that black people got rhythm. We know how to dance. And I will say that is true for most of us, but there is a few black folk that, trust me, my little brother is one of them. God bless him. I love him to death, but no, that brother has zero rhythm. So the myth is not true. Not all black people can dance, because my little brother, he just can't. He's still working on his moves. He hasn't got it together yet. So no, guys, rhythm does not come from black people. Sorry. But I want to take you all the way back to the number one book, the number one selling books of all time, called the Bible. Basic instructions before leaving earth. I want to take you all the way back to the Bible so that we can really understand where this concept of rhythm comes from. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to listen very carefully today as I illustrate this to you of why rhythm is so important. First of all, I want you to understand that when God originally spoke and he said, let there be, okay? We can find this in the book of Genesis. Okay, when he said, let there be, everything began, okay? Instantly appeared. The sun, the moon, the stars, everything, it began. And when it began, the cycle began. One more time. When God said, let there be, instantly began rhythm. One more time. I I want you to catch this. I'm deliberately going slow so everyone can stay with me as I want to show you how this really comes to play full circle. Tell you, this got me fired up here today. When it all started from when he said, let there be, and instantly things appeared. The sun appeared. The moon appeared. The stars. And if you know anything about the sun begins to rotate. It begins to move. Time was formed. And tick, 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 tick. Everything began to move. The moment he spoke, rhythm was established. And I'm talking all rhythm. I'm talking seasons, summer, winter, spring, fall. All of this falls in a rhythm. Ladies and gentlemen, if we go forward, the entire world began to move. And rhythm began to establish. And again, I said seasons. You think of winter, spring, summer, fall. All of those instantly began to fall into place. I want you to underline the word falling into place. There was a rhythm that was formed. If we go forward, we'll notice that everything has a beat. Everything has a rhythm. I want to say that one more time. I'm doing this intentionally. Everything has a beat. Everything has a rhythm. The moment God blew into Adam, and when he blew into Adam, his heart began to beat. Beat. There was a heartbeat. I want you to slowly see where we're going here today as we talk about this. If we fast forward, we learn that for those of us that do love to listen to music, every music, it doesn't matter what you listen to, there is some type of beat, some type of rhythm associated with it. If we fast forward and we look at women and women have their monthly cycle, there's a rhythm tied to that cycle. This is one of the reasons why women are so kin to God's heart, because they fall right in the flow of what his intention and how he created. When the woman was created, the women didn't decide to have a cycle. God instituted that. It was all created. There's a rhythm. Every month she has a flow. When we look at going to the restroom and how our bodies flow, there's a rhythm. Every day, some of you 1, 2, 3 times a day. There's, you're eliminating. There's a rhythm. And so here's where I want to take it, because we've got so much to cover here today. I want you to understand from a spiritual perspective. I want you to get this. I'm going to give you a lot of support. I'm going to give you a lot of support beyond this statement, but I want you to write this statement down. The enemy comes to break your rhythm. So when we talk about the word hesitation, what we're really talking about is Satan. Because Satan cannot stop you from conquering your dreams. Satan cannot, he doesn't have the power to stop you. But what his goal is to distract you, is to get you off of your rhythm. And so if your rhythm can be distracted, your confidence begins to wane. You don't have any confidence. You're not sure. You feel like you got lucky. You can't do it again. And I'm trying to get you to understand this is all started since the beginning of time. That Satan basically is a rhythm breaker. That is his goal. That is his sole goal, is to break the rhythm. If he knows if he can stop the rhythm, he can stop the flow. Write that down. If he can stop your rhythm, he can stop your flow. Now, look, some of y'all ought to be getting excited just over that single statement alone. You're wondering why your confidence is not where you want it to be. And you're thinking, well, wait a minute, I used to have it, and I used to be this, and I used to be that, and you're wondering, what is it? Is it the coronavirus that's got your rhythm? No, it got nothing to do with corona. Your rhythm is off. Your rhythm is off. Satan has devised a plan, a methodology to try and throw your rhythm off. Because if you got your rhythm off, your flow is off. If your flow is off, there ain't no confidence. If there ain't no confidence, there ain't no success. So I'm trying to show you here, since the beginning of time, as we talk about rhythm, let's go a little bit further. When we begin to look at childbirth, now this one is really, really good. You know, most of us never knew that it was not God's intention for us to have children in our old age. And I'll let you define what old age means, because I don't want to throw a number out there. But the way that God designed mankind, there was one command that God had amongst all of us. He wanted all of us to reproduce. That was the whole goal. The seed was supposed to reproduce, right? And I know some of us, you know, that just didn't happen for us or couldn't happen for us for whatever the reasons are. But I want to speak to this really quickly as it relates to rhythm. God's intention was never for us to have children in our old age. Now watch this. The reason being is because when we have children in our old age, even though it may excite us and gives us a bunch of joy and fulfillment, but it's disappointing to the kid. Because when the kid grows up and the kid is finally ready to begin to start asking you some hard things about life and wanting to spend time and get into some tough things, now there you are in your later years of life, your energy is dissipated, and now all of a sudden there's no covering for the child. You say, well, what does this matter? The reason why this matters is I'm trying to illustrate to you that when we break the rhythm, we throw everything off. From a spiritual perspective, when we break the rhythm, the intended rhythm, I am starting spiritually first because I want all of you to see what the intention from our Creator was. And then I'm going to take it down into the natural form, which is in today's term of what you need to do to be able to get your rhythm back. But I want to first of all take you to facts and truths real quick. God's intention was never for us to have children in our old age. Now, thanks to medicine, we can jimmy the lock. One more time, thanks to medicine, we can kind of jimmy the lock, and we can now have children in older age if that's what we want. Yes, we can, but I want you to understand that it's not just about our pleasures in the right now. When we go against or we hesitate or we disrupt the intended rhythm, there is a consequence. And that consequence, as I'm saying to you, is the child grows up, you're old in age now, and you really can't be and give to the child what you would have wanted to. So therefore, the covering that was initially intended for that child is not there. All because we broke the rhythm. We broke the rhythm. Again, I'm just breaking this down for you. Now, I want you to understand one more time. Imagine if you were to go to a hospital right now and the nurse were to take your pulse. When she takes your pulse, she's looking for a what? A rhythm. She's looking for a rhythm. And here's what I want you to know. If your heartbeat is off, it affects everything in your body. Watch this. What we're saying here, if the rhythm is off, come on now, there's a trickle effect that it affects everything. So if you want to know why I'm so passionate about this topic, it's because when the rhythm is off, everything is off. Everything is off. This is why this is so important. This is why we're doing a series on this. This is critical when we talk about contagious confidence. When you look at business, business is done in a rhythm. Everything comes down to rhythm. I can't emphasize enough that when you hesitate, you break the rhythm. When God said, let there be, I want you to understand God is a God of rhythm. 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 Everything comes down to rhythm. So it's not just that you are so cool and you got all this swag. I'm trying to get you to understand where swag comes from, where it originates from. I'm trying to get you to understand what's so important about having swagger. I'm trying to get you to see this is critical, guys. Rhythm is everything. So what I really want you to understand is that Satan's goal, guys, is to sabotage you and break your rhythm. And here's what I want to give you, just one quick biblical example. If we look at the story of Samuel, and I'm just going to give you the quick version. You'll have to read up on it when you have some time if you choose to. God called Samuel twice, and Samuel didn't hear. He missed the call. He missed the call. And then Samuel, he woke up the third time, and no one had called him. And then he finally said, God, if you call me again, I promise I'm going to hear it. Don't let me miss it the third time. Why do I want to say this? I want to say this because I'm using Samuel as an illustration to all of us to say, if you have missed the beat, if you have missed the rhythm, what am I talking about? You see, we have different ages of people on this call. Listen to this now. This is very important what I'm about to say. There's different ages, different ethnicities, different belief systems listening to this call, but everything about life flows through a rhythm. This is a fact. This is a fact. And what happens, as I said moments ago, there is a consequence when we miss the rhythm. There's a consequence. What do you mean, Romacio? Well, there's some things that should have happened 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 years ago, but we missed the rhythm. We missed the beat. And speaking of beats, I want you to understand there's nothing worse than dancing with someone who doesn't have rhythm. There's nothing worse than that. One more time. When we miss the rhythm, there's consequences. Okay, let's break that down into the natural sense. There were some things that were supposed to happen in your life 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 years ago. But you missed it. But when we look at Samuel, thank God for Samuel. Samuel in the Bible, he missed it too. He missed it 2 out of 3 times. But he said, God, this time, if you call me again, don't let me miss your call. So what am I saying to you is that all hope is not lost. God will restore. So for those of you wondering if you're too late, if you're too old, if it still can happen for you, yes, it can. You can be restored. Thank God for his restoration power. Okay? So I don't want you getting off this call doom and gloom and feeling like all hope is lost. That's not true. But I do want you to get the importance of, here's the point I want to give you. When God calls you to your next opportunity, you better move. You better move. Move. What am I saying? Sometimes we allow our fear, we allow our issues to paralyze us, and we don't move. And when we don't move, what's happening is it's kind of like staying in fall. It's kind of like staying in the fall season forever. But God is intending for you to go from fall to spring, from spring to summer. But if you don't move, that means you take a season further than it was intended to go. That means you take a season further than it was intended to go. because of your reluctance, stubbornness, whatever you want to call it, fear, whatever, and you just didn't want to move. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say it again. I can't remember what religious background it is. I can't remember. Excuse me for not being able to remember. But I know that there's a religious background. I don't want to say one or the other and misspeak. So I want to tell you up front, I'm not recalling which culture it is. But there's a culture that they know that they rock back and forth. I can't remember which one it is. They rock back and forth. And they know that it's the movement of moving they believe gets them closer and closer to God, because God is always on the move. He's always on the move. I told you, the moment he spoke, things are moving nonstop. I know it feels like you're laying in bed sleeping and it feels like nothing moving. Let me tell you, baby, the world is moving. Everything is moving. Rhythm, rhythm, rhythm. Everything is in a rhythm. Jesus came in a rhythm in the fullness of time. Everything happens with rhythm, 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 rhythm. And listen, you don't want to fight this. Let me tell you why. Because there's something called time, T-I-M-E. And time says, ready or not, here I come. Ready or not, here I come. I wait for no man. That means time is going to fulfill its purpose. And who was time created by? Wasn't created by me, wasn't created by you. It was created by God. And God had an intention. He's purposeful. There is a rhythm. And so what I'm trying to say to all of us, if we can sync up, okay, it's kind of like my favorite dance, which is my two-step, right? Left, right, left, right. Some of y'all know the two-step. So if you can get in sync with me, left, right, all of a sudden now we're in sync. When you're in sync, that's called alignment. Now you're aligned. When you're aligned, all of a sudden, abundance, a tremendous abundance amount of favor begins to flow your way because you're in sync. And so what I want to talk to you today, guys, is about a daily routine. See, a daily routine is a part of a rhythm. It establishes a rhythm. And what I want you to understand, where there is rhythm, there is success. Where there is success, there's rhythm. Rhythm is everything. When you think about it, ladies and gentlemen, most of you wake up at about the same time every day. And you do about the same things of just about every day. Brush your teeth, wake up, drink your coffee, whatever your routine is. What I'm saying to you, when we look at contagious confidence, we have to understand how important rhythm is. And then we have to ask ourselves, is the daily routine that you have right now, allowing you or helping you to become more and more confident? If you're not noticing that your confidence is increasing in a variety of different areas, it's because of your daily routine is lacking nourishment. It's lacking strength. It's lacking certain things. And because of its lacking, that's why your confidence is not increasing. So what I want to do here is I want to encourage you to look at that daily routine. And I want to make sure that we pack that daily routine with various things that are going to strengthen you. So the first thing I want to encourage you, number one, is spirituality. Every day there should be something that you're doing to increase your confidence in your spirituality. Okay? Number two, health. There should be something that we're doing on a daily basis to increase the confidence of your health. Number three, your business or job. There should be something or activities that you should be doing to increase that level of confidence in that area. And so forth and so on. Your daily routine will take you straight to your dreams. The reason why you notice your emotions go up and down and your mood swings go in and out, because Satan is trying to break your rhythm. And that's what he's doing. He's trying to come in and create all sorts of friction, uncertainty, insecurity, all of these negative emotions so that your rhythm is off. And when he does this, he's accomplishing his goal. Each of us have the power of God in us, whether you believe in God or not. Each of us do. Each of us have a purpose and a gift. We all come from God. We are God's very best work. Even if you're in a bad situation, even if you don't know your name right now, we are God's very best work. God loves the animals, but he loves us more. Okay? And let me tell you this. The reason why this is so important, what I'm saying, God is so powerful that if you don't use the gift that God has given you, let me say it this way. If you don't move, I'm going to say it again. If you don't move with the gift that God has given you, God will find someone else to fulfill his intended purpose with the gift that he gave you. Let me say it again. If you don't move with the gift that God has given you, God will find someone else to use the gift that he gave to you to fulfill his intended purpose. This is so important for us to understand this word rhythm, because things, it may seem arbitrary to you as to why this is happening and that's happening. And I know many of us, well, I don't understand. If there's such a God, why would there be this virus? Again, if you just take your time to educate yourself on the truth and fact of how God works, number one, God does not owe any of us an answer. He doesn't owe us an answer. But if you choose to dive into his word, you will see that God will use something that was intended for bad, and he will flip it around and turn it into good. He's done this time after time after time after time. Just do your little research, and you'll see that his intention, his purpose will be fulfilled. And when it comes to rhythm, rhythm is something that you need to give you contagious confidence. It gives you the utter assurance, the strong, quiet disposition of certainty, of you knowing that you know that you know that you know what you're doing. And you need that. You need that to be effective as a leader. You need that to be effective as an influencer. Let me give you an example. I know some of us, I was watching just yesterday CNN, our President Donald Trump, and I noticed that there were different newscasters that were stating that some of the information Donald Trump was saying was inaccurate. In other words, some of his facts were off. And some of that was true, that he had misspoke on a few facts or whatever. But the point I'm making here is that when you're confident, when you are extremely confident and you know your information, what happens is your confidence radically increases. So again, remember we talked about in a previous call fake confidence versus real confidence? We talked about that. And I'm telling you that when you have what we call contagious confidence, and you begin to understand the importance of rhythm and how it goes together with having contagious confidence, when you understand how important rhythm is, you'll begin to prioritize this. You'll begin to prioritize your daily routine. Because your daily routine is super important, because it gives you stronger conviction in the very disposition that you have. For example, if I were to ask you, what is your name? You would not stutter. You know your name. You are very sure of your name. This is something that you know. You have very strong and firm disposition about your name. But what I'm saying, for you to be a more influential leader, a more effective leader, you're going to have to develop contagious confidence. Not contagious arrogance, but contagious confidence. And rhythm is a very big, huge part of you having contagious confidence. Again, when your rhythm is off, everything else is off. Everything. And I've done an excellent job here today of pointing out a few spiritual examples. I've pointed out a few medical examples, okay, a few business examples. I've pointed these different examples out so that each of you can understand how relative, how important rhythm is. This is not something we're making up. This is not about who's the best dancer in the mirror. Although dancing is one of the factors of rhythm, but what we're saying is your life begins to take on a rhythm. Is the rhythm a good rhythm? Are you in sync with the intended purpose? If you're not, remember the story of Samuel. Lord, I missed it the first 2 times, but if you call me again, I'm not going to miss it. In other words, it's saying, if you give me another opportunity, this time I'm going to move. This time I'm going to develop the courage to do it. And I can tell you guys, I fall guilty to that so many times where I felt like I'm 42 today. I love my life. Of course, are there certain areas of my life that at this point that I would have wanted to be a little bit further along in certain areas, have accomplished a little bit more, done more? Absolutely. So I want to tell you firsthand, I fall into that category. I know that there's been maybe some things that perhaps whatever my issues or reasons was, some things that I've missed. I mean, it's very hard to get it right all the time. I think we all would agree to that. But what I'm trying to express on this call is that there is a rhythm to this thing called life. There is a rhythm. And the last point that I want to bring up, that I saved this for last, and this is very strong what I'm about to say, as we talk about rhythm. Yes, we all have our own lives and we get to do as we please, but I want to come back to something I said earlier on the call. When we choose to not stay in rhythm, when we choose to go against the intended intention of rhythm, when we choose to go against that, there is some consequences. I want to give you another example. This is not to put fear in any of us, but let me show you, coming full circle, how important you are and how important it is for you to stay in sync with the rhythm that was created for you. Each of you have a gift inside of you. Each of you are very important in God's eyes. This is the truth. When you choose not to actually stay in rhythm with what was intended for you, I want you to realize that there are a lot of other people that are depending on your rhythm. Woo! Let me say it again. In other words, there's a lot of other people that you were intended to affect, but because you are off beat, they don't even see a beat. One more time. There's a lot of people that you were intended to affect, because remember, you're pregnant with a gift. You're pregnant with something that was given to you. And you're supposed to take that gift and share it with the world. I'm not saying you're supposed to be a millionaire. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you play a role in this thing called life. And when you don't fall in line or align or sync up with what was intended for you, you are holding everyone else up. Because there are people that don't even know your name that are waiting for what it is that's inside of you. What's inside of you helped spark them. What's inside of you helped light their candle. What's inside of you was the answer to their problems. So I want you to understand that by you choosing to not stay in sync with the intended rhythm for you, what happens is you throw a lot of other people off. This is very, very, in other words, it's much bigger than you. That's what we're saying. It's much bigger than you. It's very, very important. So you say, well, Romacio, how do we take all of the information on today's call and boil this down into a bite-sized piece that you can begin to apply right now? And the answer is, ladies and gentlemen, is what you want to do is you want to take a look at your daily routine. It's really simple. Your daily routine will lead you straight to your dreams. Look at your daily routine. Ask yourself, is this routine the routine that's going to take me to where I want to go? Is this routine going to allow me to have the confidence to create the impact for my family, for my business, for my community? Will this routine give me the strength that I need to be the pillar I'm created to be? Look at your daily routine. It all comes back to your routine. Now, have you ever seen a good dance performance and you saw, let's say, 4 people dancing and they were all supposed to be in sync and they were all supposed to have the same rhythm? But there was this little guy over here, Johnny. This little guy over here, Johnny, he just was offbeat. And he was messing up the whole routine because what? He was not in sync. So I want to really again encourage you. Get in sync. Understand this topic of rhythm. This is much more than bobbing your head when your favorite song comes on the radio. I'm trying to show you from a spiritual perspective all the way to right now how important rhythm is. Rhythm is everything, 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 everything. And just like the heartbeat of your body, when the rhythm is off, it affects everything in the body. The same can be said for your life. When the rhythm is off, it affects every area of your life. Ladies and gentlemen, that is worth pondering. That is worth fixing. That is worth you turning up the volume on your cell phone to hear what I'm saying to you right now. It all comes down to rhythm. We come from a God of purpose, a God of intention, a God who spoke and there it was, a God who literally created time, seasons, rhythm, and said, hey, listen, I just want you to align with what I've created. And if you align with what he's created for your life, you'll begin to experience what we call sweatless victories, where all of a sudden things begin to fall into place where you didn't have to work as hard as you thought you was going to have to work, and you wonder, how come that's happening? All because you are in sync. I'm not saying you're not going to go through some trials and tribulations, as we all will, but if you can keep on beat, if you can stay on beat, stay with your rhythm, stay with your rhythm, stay with your routine, stay with your routine, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it in the summer, stay with it in the winter, stay with it in the falls, stay with it in the spring, stay with it in the highs and in the low. Stick with your rhythm. Stick with your routine. Because if you stick with your routine, I promise you, it will take you straight to your dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, today was part 5 of what we call contagious confidence. I wanted to kind of brush this topic in a comprehensive way that gave you enough meat so that you can understand that rhythm is much, much more than a bunch of music on a radio. It's much deeper than that. And that was the intended purpose, for you to understand the value of you getting in sync. Getting in sync. I want you to get aligned with what's intended for you. So therefore, you can walk in the room and there's a swagger on you that can't nobody do you but you. Can't nobody, say it the way you can. Can't nobody do it like you. But we got to get your confidence up. And so once we get your confidence up, everything around you goes up. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you dearly. This is so important. This is not a destination, this topic of contagious confidence, but it's a journey. And I appreciate those of you that are listening live and those of you that will listen to the free replay of part 5 of this never-ending series called Contagious Confidence. Listen, guys, I'm the California kid. I love you dearly. I want you to always remember, in all that you do, never forget there's anybody in the entire world any greater than you. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys all next week. Bye-bye, everybody.